What if there is free unlimited cloud storage available for lifetime? I know it sounds impossible, right? But no, it is possible. And this is your own personal cloud that you can access from anywhere in the world. It will take automatic backups of your photos, videos, documents, etc. It will sync this data between your devices. Most importantly, it will be secure so that no one can access this data without your permission. Today I have a solution using 5 components: Raspberry Pi, a hard drive, Nextcloud, Tailscale, and Docker. If you don't know any of these terms, don't worry, I will give you a short explanation for each of these terms. Still, if you don't understand any of these terms, don't worry. You will understand everything while watching the demo. Okay? So let's get started. So first, Raspberry Pi. It's a teeny tiny computer. It's affordable yet powerful. The second, hard drive. This is the storage device where you will put all your data. Docker is a platform for creating, deploying and managing containerized applications. Nextcloud is a platform for secure file storage. And finally, Tailscale, it is used for creating software-defined networks that can connect multiple users, devices, services with each other. I know it sounds difficult. Don't worry. Okay, time to do some practical. First, I need to install a fresh copy of Ubuntu on my Raspberry Pi. Detailed setup of Raspberry Pi and its review video is attached in the description below, so please do check that out. So here, choose your device as a Raspberry Pi 5, choose operating system from other general purpose OS, select Ubuntu and its Ubuntu server 24.04.1 LTS version. Then choose storage and select the microSD card. Click on next. Currently clear all settings, then click no, go next, edit settings, set host name as Raspberry Pi as default, I won't change, set username and password, select username of your choice and enter some password there. Make sure this password is strong enough so that no one can hack easily. I won't check this option as I will be connecting this Raspberry Pi to my router directly using gigabit Ethernet port. I don't need to set local settings. Then I will enable SSH and paste my SSH key here. Then go to third tab. You don't need to change anything here. Just click on save and yes, memory card will be formatted and yeah, the fresh copy of Ubuntu will be extracted on the micro SD card. Cool. So the operating system is now extracted on this memory card. I will put it inside Raspberry Pi. Then I am going to connect this hard drive to my Raspberry Pi using USB. And now I will be back in a minute. I will connect this Raspberry Pi to my router using this gigabit Ethernet port. And now I am back on my laptop. Okay, so as you see on the screen, I will now SSH into my Raspberry Pi. Okay, so the command is SSH, my username on the Raspberry Pi, then the IP address 192.168.11.27. This IP I checked on my router and yes, I could connect. I will click yes. I will enter the passphrase for my SSH key and I am logged into my Raspberry Pi. Great. So the first step I need to do here is sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. So this will update all the packages and upgrade if possible. It will take a minute or so. Okay, now the time to prepare the hard drive ready for Nextcloud. So the command is lsblk. It will show all the mount points here, and the hard disk that I had connected, its name is SDA because it's the only 1 terabyte hard drive I can see here. So I will copy that name. The next command is formatting this drive because the drive currently is not compatible with Raspberry Pi. So to format, the command is sudo then mkfs.ext4, this is the extension, /dev/sda and enter yes. So now it will take 1 or 2 minutes. That's done and the drive is formatted. The next step is to create the directory where I want to mount this drive. So the command is sudo mkdir -p and I want to mount it at /mnt/files. Now if I type lsblk again, okay, now the drive is formatted for this Raspberry Pi Ubuntu. Okay, now I will mount this drive using command sudo mount /dev/sda to /mnt/files. Drive is mounted. Now let me check what is there inside the drive. Okay, there is this lost and found directory. Basically it's a recycle bin in my understanding. Even though I mounted this drive, it's not permanent mount. So let me add a permanent mount for that. So the command is sudo vi/etc/fstab. I will be editing this file, and at the end of this file I will add this line. I will save the file. Now the drive will be mounted permanently to this Raspberry Pi. The next step is the Tailscale setup. For that, just go to login.tailscale.com and sign up using any of the available options there, using your Google account or GitHub account, for example. So the landing page of Tailscale looks like this, and here under the access control tabs, add this tag owner. Okay, uncomment these 3 lines, and here instead of example replace it with container. Save the access controls, and yeah, you are done with this step. Next step, go to the DNS tab and below enable HTTPS. Third thing you have to do is go under this settings tab, go to the keys, click on this generate auth key option. So let me give some description here. The description is just Nextcloud. You have to make sure that this auth key is reusable and leave this expiration period as is. Okay, and generate key. Copy this key safely somewhere. That was step number 3. So now you are done with the Tailscale setup. The next thing is installing Docker on Raspberry Pi. So the command is sudo snap install docker. Okay, cool. The Docker is now installed. Next, I will be cloning my repository here. The command is like this. All the detailed instructions are there in the readme of this repository. I am making available this repository publicly so that you can check the detailed manual there, and the link of this repository it's also there in the description of this video. So do check that out if you want to do this setup on your own, and yeah, feel free to do this setup along with me if you are interested. Currently it's asking me the passphrase because this is my private repository, but I am going to make this repository public. I will change my directory to this repository folder. For this setup, the hard disk that I had connected to the Raspberry Pi, it's going to be my storage device for all the Nextcloud data and the files, etc. that I am going to upload on this Nextcloud server. So essentially I need to create the volumes, the Docker volumes on that hard drive and not on the micro SD card that I had connected to the Raspberry Pi. So for that, first I need to create 2 empty directories on my hard drive. So the first directory I'm going to create is called DB. The second one I'm going to create is called Nextcloud. And I'm going to create 2 external volumes. So the first external volume will be mounted here on the /mnt/files docker volumes DB. And the second volume will be mounted on the second directory that I have created above. Sudo docker volume. Yeah, so the volume is created. Okay, now I need to edit some of the configuration files that are present in this repository. So what are these files? Okay, so the first file I need to edit is this db.env. It contains my MySQL root password, MySQL password, and yeah, the other database name and the user. So you have to replace this strong password here, and I will be creating some random passwords online and I will copy those here. I will save this file. The next file I need to edit is .env. So that's the Redis password basically. For now, just do as I say. I will explain everything in a moment. Next, I will explain what is there in this Docker Compose YAML file. This is the entire configuration for our Docker containers. So based on the description in this file, our entire Nextcloud service, Tailscale, and other containers that I have specified there will be connected to each other, and yeah, they will be connected to the internet as well. Let me edit this file. The first container here you can see is called TS network. That's the Tailscale container. The host name I have specified is called Nextcloud. Okay, so remember this host name. The third thing you need to edit here is this TS auth key. So this auth key I had created from the Tailscale login panel. Do you remember that? So you need to put that key here. This config nextcloud.json, I will be explaining that in a moment. That is required for the HTTPS support for your Nextcloud service. It will be creating the SSL certificate using Let's Encrypt service, and yeah, you will get the HTTPS valid certificate for your Nextcloud service. Okay, the next service is called DB, that is MariaDB. So basically it's the MySQL server that will be storing all the data related to the Nextcloud service. And I won't be explaining much here, but the volume, the external volume that I had created, DB, that's the same volume I am linking here. Okay, and the db.env that we just edited and put the MySQL passwords, so that's the same db.env it is referring to. Okay, the next is Redis. It's the server for cache management, for managing the most frequently accessed data so that it can serve you faster. So yeah, that's the like short explanation for Redis. It's vast, so I cannot explain everything right now, but yeah, it is necessary for the better performance from your Nextcloud service. Okay, and the Redis password, it will refer to the .env file that we had edited. Okay, and from there it will get this Redis password variable. And the final container or the service in this, yeah, Docker Compose will be app, and that's the Nextcloud container. Okay, then the volume will be Nextcloud that we had created, and this service mainly depends on DB, that is MySQL, Redis, that is Redis server, and the third one is Tailscale network, and its network mode is set as TS network. So all the traffic from this app container will be routed to the Tailscale container, and Tailscale will be connected to the internet. And that's how all these containers are linked. So let me explain this through a very simple diagram. Okay, so let me explain the current situation here. Yeah, this is my home router. Then the Raspberry Pi is connected to this home router via Gigabit Ethernet. Then the hard drive I have connected using the USB cable. Then computer is accessing home router via Wi-Fi connection. Okay, the home router is connected to the internet, right? That's how you access the internet. But the smartphone is not connected to my home router in this situation. The smartphone is connected to the nearest mobile tower and it is accessing 4G network. So essentially there is no direct link between the computer and smartphone. I cannot ping my computer from my smartphone and vice versa. Okay, but I can ping my Raspberry Pi using my computer because they are on the same network. Did you get my point? Okay, so now what if I want to access this Docker container running on the Raspberry Pi on my smartphone? So here Tailscale comes into the picture. So now when I create the account on Tailscale, a new telnet is created for me. It get its private IP address 100.120.11.1 for example. And when the Tailscale Docker container goes up, using the same authentication key that I have provided here in this Docker Compose configuration for the same account, it also gets connected to the same telnet. Similarly, when I log in from my computer using same account, it also gets this additional private IP address of that telnet. Similarly for the smartphone as well. And that's how these devices get connected to each other using peer-to-peer mesh virtual private network. And as I said, it's like VPN, it uses WireGuard protocol on the backend. The communication between these two devices is completely secure. So the colored lines that I have drawn here, these are the peer-to-peer connections that I want to represent here. And actually there is no direct link as such. All the traffic goes through the available internet routes only. Just that everything is encrypted, which means even if someone gets access to this traffic, they cannot read anything out of it because everything is encrypted, and only the devices which are connected can decrypt that data. So that's how you can access Nextcloud service running on your Raspberry Pi out of your home internet from anywhere in the world. The next is the volumes. So the volumes Tailscale data Nextcloud is local on the micro SD card. It won't have much data actually. But the volumes DB and Nextcloud, they will be mainly storing our actual data files, right? The files that you are going to upload to your Nextcloud server. So that's why their location is external on the hard drive. Understood? So yeah, I have explained and edited this Docker Compose file with you. So I will save this file and yeah, that's done for the Docker Compose. Okay, so now let me explain what is there in this config directory. Okay, so cat config slash and you will find the nextcloud.json file there. So the contents are simple. So the Nextcloud service that we are going to run should be accessible securely, right? So what we are doing essentially here is we are proxying the local host inside the Nextcloud container onto the Tailscale domain name for the Tailscale container once we up all the services. Okay, so finally time to up all the services, and for that command is sudo docker compose up -d. Now it's pulling all the images as we have specified in the Docker Compose. Okay, so it pulled all the images and now all the services are going up. Cool. Now you can quickly check the status of all the services using sudo docker ps command. Great, so all the containers are created and all of them are running. Okay, cool. Now go back to the Tailscale login console. Okay, and here under this machines tab, now you will find the Nextcloud machine. So that's the machine created for our Docker Nextcloud container, and yeah, it is accessible via Tailscale network. Okay, so here you will find the domain name that you will mainly use to access the Nextcloud service, but right now you cannot do that. Before that you need to do one more thing. Okay, you need to download the Tailscale client for your MacBook, or if you have Windows device then for the Windows device. Okay, so now I will go and download it for the macOS by clicking on this link. Actually I have already downloaded it, so let me just open here, click on the add account and log in from the same account that you had created just before. Under the machines tab, now I will find my MacBook Pro here, and between these two devices now there is a connection. It's a peer-to-peer connection. Okay, so it on the backend it uses WireGuard protocol. So it's basically peer-to-peer virtual private network VPN between these two clients or these two machines, the Nextcloud and my MacBook Pro. Okay, so now in order to access that Tailscale machine from my browser here, I need to be like connected to the Tailscale service using this toggle, and next I want to enter the URL like https:// and the fcdn that I had copied from the machines tab. Okay, and if I enter, yeah, the Tailscale service is on now. Boom. Most importantly, if I click on the show certificate and click on the details, this is the certificate created using Let's Encrypt. So yeah, it's legal, it's secure, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can access your Nextcloud service safely on this local tailnet. But there are few things you need to do after this step. Okay, so first thing is you need to create the admin account. Let me put my own name, add a very strong password here, and I will click install. So it will create this new user. So for the first time you can set a name of your choice and a password of your choice, and the admin account will be created for you. For now I will just skip here. If I go to this files tab, now you will see some default files here, but before that let me show you something. Here, as I am the admin, I can go to the administration settings and I will see lots of warnings here. Okay, So I will be solving all these warnings in a moment, so please stay tuned for that. Don't worry, these warnings can be like gone, but before that let me show you some status on system. So here if we check, yeah, the SDA, the hard disk that we have mounted on, so this is accessible. So now I have roughly 915 gigabytes of storage available for me to upload upload my files, documents, anything on this Nextcloud server, and I can access this Nextcloud server anywhere from the world if I just have this Tailscale service on and I am connected to my Telnet using the same account that is displayed here. And yep, let me resolve all those warnings first. So for that, there are some steps you need to take. Okay, in order to fix all the warnings that were shown there, yeah, I need to log into the Nextcloud container. I will be copying this container ID from here, and the command is sudo docker exec-it, that is interactive mode, then the container ID that I had just copied, and I want to open the bash. Okay, so now this is the command line interface of the container. So let me clear. I need to install some libraries here first. config/config.php file. You will find the config.php in the repository that I have shared. Keep this trusted domains list first item as is, then add one more element, localhost, and third one is the IP address of localhost. Instead of HTTP, you need to replace it with HTTPS. I need to add one more line here, override protocol. That will be like HTTPS. Let me add few more lines in this PHP. So yeah, you will find everything in the config.php. So it's there in the repository, so don't worry. Trusted proxies. You have to replace this with the IP address your Nextcloud machine. Okay, so this is the IP address you need to copy and go back to the config.php, put it here, escape:\wq. Great. I will exit from the container. I will restart the app and let me check the status here again. Yeah, the app is running. Yep, I can ignore these 3 warnings for now. Yeah, but if you can resolve all the warning, that's actually like the ideal situation. But for this setup, I won't be like going in detail. So yeah, that's the setup basically. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. So from here, in the administration, you can go to accounts, and now you can create accounts for your family members, friends, and yeah, they will be part of this Nextcloud storage. They will have their own accounts, which means their own data. They will be just sharing your like hard disk here, and yeah, otherwise like all their data will be like secure. Now I will show you demo on my mobile, yeah, how to connect to this Nextcloud using my smartphone. I have installed a couple of things here. The first thing is Tailscale and second one is this Nextcloud app. So let me show you what is there on my Tailscale app. I will be logging in again from the same account that I had created on Tailscale. So now my iPhone is also displayed here. So now there is a peer-to-peer connection from my iPhone 15 to this Nextcloud container. Okay, Nextcloud machine you can say. So I will be again copying the name of this Nextcloud machine. Then I will go to Nextcloud, and from here I need to click on login button, and yeah, now it's asking me the server address. So I will enter https:// and then I will paste the Nextcloud domain name here and click on this arrow. Now it has opened this page for logging in. Yeah, I will be entering the same username and password and grant access. Okay, so account is now connected, and boom, now I can see all the like default files that they like put there. I can upload my own files. Let me upload this screenshot. Okay, now you can see that the network is 4G and it is accessing the Nextcloud machine or the Nextcloud container running on my Raspberry Pi Docker connected to my router inside my home, but I am accessing this from some other network outside my home. This is excellent. So now you've seen the demo. The file is like uploaded here, and great. The same setup you can do on your laptop as well. Yeah, just that log in using the same Tailscale account. Once you log in with the same Tailscale account, turn on that toggle so that you can be connected to your peers on the same telnet using WireGuard protocol, and there is a safe connection between both of you and Nextcloud, or you and another device of yours, and then you can access all the like data on this Nextcloud server from anywhere in the world. Okay, so yeah, Nextcloud will be sitting inside the home of yours, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. So yeah, that's like magic, I would say, isn't it? Anyways, if you like this solution, please let me know in the comments below, and anyways, let me know what are your thoughts on these kind of videos that I make. And yeah, if you didn't like any part, please let me know that as well. If I made any mistakes, let me know that as well. I will improve myself, my skills, my knowledge, everything. Hit that like button, it means a lot to me, and it will make a lot to YouTube as well in order to promote this video to others. Subscribe to this channel for more such exciting videos. I will catch you in the next. Until then, peace.